Swadikap. Good afternoon once again. Of course, we continue to monitor the situation. We are 5 days into the month of November, which is actually the month that we have began to open up the country to foreign travelers without quarantine, as you know. So it's November the 5th today, and this is the English language summary of the press briefing here at the Center for COVID Situation Administration, or CCSA. So we had the Thai language briefing, and as I mentioned, we continue to monitor the situation across the country, from Bangkok to Chiang Mai, from Nakhon Si Thammarat to Mukdahan, all of these provinces. Of course, in Chiang Mai and in Nakhon Si Thammarat in particular, we have had a situation that we had to be very careful of because the spike in the number of infections in those provinces. And for Mukdahan, for example, that was one province which had a case in the past day, which turned out to be false positive. So meaning that there had been news about some students in schools being tested positive for COVID, but upon rechecking, upon the RT-PCR or another ATK test as well, it turned out that the results were negative, and the authorities in that province had already gave a briefing on that. So that was a false information, a false result. I'd like to start off with the vaccination progress that we have for today. Yesterday, we inoculated 824,650 doses of vaccines. So that's quite a high number of vaccines that we have administered in one day. The national rate of those who received the first dose now stands at 60.3% of the total population. And the accumulated number of vaccines now stands at 78 million doses. As for the general situation that we have for today, we have new confirmed case at 8,148, which you can see on screen now, as compared to the new recoveries, slightly higher, which is new recoveries is 8,232. Active cases continue to decline, cases still being treated in hospitals. Now it stands at 97,300. And of this number, of which is 2,118 are in critical condition and 461 who remain on ventilators. 80 fatalities. Fatality rate is 1.01%. And more than 90% of the fatality rates are in the fragile group, the group of those aged more than 60 years old or with 7 underlying medical conditions. As for the reopening of the country, since the 1st of November 2021, we have reopened the country and launched the exemption from quarantine program. As you know, we call it the Test and Go scheme, welcoming travelers from abroad. And just some statistics for you. As of yesterday, the total number of travelers from abroad registered at 2,086 persons, of which travelers using the Test and Go scheme registered at 1,864, and the accumulated passengers in the past 4 days, which is the 1st to the 4th of November, is at 8,169 persons. The sandbox scheme registered 88 persons, with the accumulated passengers in the sandbox scheme at 358 persons within the past 4 days, 1st to the 4th of November 2021. And out of the accumulated number of travelers entering the country since the 1st of November 2021, across all schemes that we have, it stands at 13,397 persons. And it is reported 10 total positive cases found in all of these entries. 10 were found positive, making the average infection rate of those entering the country at 0.075%. 0.075%. And there are some statistics on screen for you, which I had recapped in English. Just some information, the Bang Sue station opens for walk-in vaccination for adolescents. Since the 2nd of November 2021, the Central Vaccination Center at Bang Su Grand Station has been offering the COVID vaccine to adolescents without appointments for walk-in only. So teenagers aged 12 to 18 years old, regardless of nationality, can travel to the site. You can go there to the site to get the first shot, the first jab of Pfizer BioNTech vaccine until the 10th of November 2021. And any persons aged 12 to 18 who has yet to receive any dose of vaccines can now visit the Bang Su Grand Station for the jabs without appointment, and stress without appointment. And this is from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. daily until the 10th of November. Entry into the center is entrance 1 and 2. And vaccine recipients must carry with them identification such as national ID, birth certificate, or any form of identification for foreign nationals. A parent must accompany the recipients to the center in order to be given their consent. Additional information regarding Chula COVID-19 and Baya vaccine in terms of the budget approval, that yesterday the cabinet approved a combined 3.62 billion baht budget proposed by the National Economic and Social Development Council to finance research and development on 2 COVID-19 vaccine projects. The first project is worth 2.32 billion baht and is the development of a local mRNA COVID-19 vaccine known as Chula COVID-19. The second is a plant-based COVID-19 vaccine known as Baya vaccine project worth 1.3 billion baht. And Chulalongkorn University's Chula COVID-19 and Baya vaccine are now in the third phase of human trials. Just in addition, the Covaxin approved by the World Health Organization. On the 3rd of November, the World Health Organization issued an emergency use listing, or EUL, emergency use listing, for Covaxin, which is developed by Bharat Biotech. And Covaxin marks the 7th vaccine to have been approved for emergency use by the World Health Organization. As of July, this past July, it is reported more than 100 million doses of Covaxin have been vaccinated already in India. And in this regard, the Ministry of Public Health of Thailand is preparing to amend Thailand's guideline to allow travelers vaccinated with Covaxin to be allowed to utilize both the test and go as well as the sandbox program. So that is in preparation. It's worth noting that the reopening of Thailand to tourism, both internationally and locally, must be done in strict compliance with the measures, as I mentioned often. This also includes more than 35,000 schools across the country that have now returned to physical classroom environment. To ensure the health, safety of students, teachers, staff, measures such as the physical distancing, clean environment, airflow circulation, cleaning, water quality, and waste management, this is all strongly advised. And this is to ensure that although schools are open, strict measures, high surveillance, and risk assessment are still being applied. And of course, as we mentioned quite often, the public should also follow universal prevention guidelines, including wearing masks and regularly washing hands. That remains still very, very important. Now, I'd just like to end with some information regarding about entering Thailand for non-Thai travelers. And after I leave the podium, I'll leave you with a video clip on this as well. So the Department of Consular Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand has produced an info video on entering Thailand for non-Thai travelers starting from the 1st of November 2021. And this video provides information on documents required and the processes required for non-Thai travelers entering Thailand since the 1st of November. Now, there's a QR code of the video on screen right now. And of course, for further information, you can contact the social media, read on the social media of the various Royal Thai embassies and Royal Thai consulates in your country. So now I'll leave you with the video that I was talking about. I thank you very much. It's a short video that we'll leave you with. I thank you very much for your attention and we'll see you again next week สวัสดีครับ